Recording in progress.
All right, everyone, we are joined by head coach Dana Holgorsen. As always, please use the raise your hand tool and we'll get questions your way. We will go ahead and lead things off with Chris Baldwin. Chris?
Dana, how important was it to get McCaskill involved in the passing game, and what can he give you in that dimension coming out of the backfield as a pass catch?
Well, I mean, he's a complete back. I've been saying that for a while. Unfortunately, he got hurt for the last couple weeks of camp, and you know, didn't look good game week last week. The knee brace came off, and you could tell that he was back to himself. So, you know, Tayson Henry was out. You know, he's kind of our third down back when it comes to, you know, receiving threat out of the backfield. We can line him up everywhere and do different things with him. So there is a role to do that. So we definitely wanted to, you know, get him involved on some of the pass game stuff. But he can be in the backfield and get hard yards too. I mean, you saw some of the short yardage stuff that he did. I think that's just the start of what he's going to become.
Send it over to Mark Berman. Mark?
Dana, in the grand scheme of things, I saw you on CBS a second ago. You said you're going to go take that bucket and celebrate. In the grand scheme of things, how big a deal is this for you guys?
It's big. We all know we needed to win. You know, just you know, we kind of got on a roll last year a little bit, and then, you know, COVID kicked our tail for about 4 weeks, and we go lose a heartbreaker at Memphis. We're down some people, and you know, give up a touchdown on a kickoff against Hawaii, you know, so we've had a couple of tough losses. We all know it happened last week, you know, when it comes to playing good, being up 21-7 and just not playing very good in the second half. I do think Texas Tech's a pretty good ball club, but yeah, just get the taste out of our mouth more than anything. It's been a while since we've won. When's the last time we won? South Florida? Yeah, I think that was the last one. It just seems like a while, you know. So, you know, no excuses. Got to play better, and we did tonight. Was happy with the way the guys played. You know, going into the locker room after Rice took the momentum, I was anxious to see how we were going to come out and play. We said all the right things in the halftime. Players said it. Coaches said it. We challenged each other, and we went out and we started. You know, the 17 play drive that went, you know, 75 yards and a touchdown. So, you know, killed half the third quarter. That's pretty much the ball game right there. I mean, I was really happy with the way offense came out and set the tone in the third quarter, you know, and then defense, you know, there's a lot of high moments. So,
Dana, how do you celebrate with that trophy?
I'll probably go home and eat and watch football and go to bed and get up here early and get ready for the next one. It's a long season, you know. I don't get too carried away in season, but was really proud of the guys, man. I tell you, there's been a lot going on. You know, I've been stressed out, man. I mean, there's been a lot going on. You know, there's a lot to play for. The Bayou bucket was huge. Means a lot to both fan bases. That, you know, we made a big deal about the bucket staying home. You know, with all the Big 12 news and everything. You know, coming off a hard loss last week, a lot going on, you know, and was really proud of the way the coaches and players responded to it and had a big win here tonight.
We'll send it over to Joseph Duarte. JD.
Dana, the broadcast said Cedric Williams had a broken ankle. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, he does. I'm not sure if it's an ankle, if it's a leg, if it's a tibia. I don't know, but he's pretty emotional in there right now. I went and gave him a big hug, and he's on crutches, and they say he's out. So that'll be a wrap for him this year.
And when you look at Tayshon, is that a 1 week situation? I don't think it's an injury though, right?
No, it's not. He did nothing wrong. I don't want to get into it.
We'll send it over to Andy Yanez. Andy.
Dana, can you talk a little bit about what you saw from Clayton Tune and his bounce back performance? You mentioned a little bit how you felt a little anxious heading into halftime, just in terms of how that second quarter went. What did you see from him and the way he responded from that second quarter and throughout the game more or less?
Yeah, that second quarter, I'm not putting that second quarter on Clayton Tune. We forgot to block, and that was the biggest issue in the second half last week. We went up 17-0, and two of our offensive players lost their minds. I mean, all I talk about is being disciplined, not doing stupid stuff, emotional control. We had 2 penalties after a touchdown. I mean, are you kidding me? And so we're kicking off from the 10. Defense actually stops them, and then we have a roughing the punter thing. So they eventually go down and score, and they score and killed the whole half. We only ran 9 plays in the second quarter. I mean, it wasn't good, but we scored on our first 3 possessions in the first quarter, and then we sucked for two possessions in the second quarter. I have to really look at it to see what exactly happened, but it looked to me like we forgot to block. Yeah, I challenged him, and then we came out in the third quarter, and he sat in there I believe it was 3 times on 3rd and long. After getting peppered in the second quarter, he sat in there and he made huge throws. That's improvement. That's progress. I'm very, very proud of him, blocking out all the noise from the media and from other people on the outside, which don't know what happens on the inside, because this team believes in Clayton Tune. I believe in Clayton Tune. Clayton Tune's a quarterback, and he played his ass off today, and I was proud of him sitting in there doing so.
We'll head over to Rob Sellers. Rob.
Thanks, Coach. How important was it you were able to get some offensive linemen in there late in the game, some new guards in there, maybe to get a little bit of experience and mix and match a little bit? How important was that moving forward in the season?
Should be big. I know we got Jack in there at guard, which he's been repping a lot of guard and looks pretty good at it. We got Cam Johnson in there at guard. I think he played okay other than getting that penalty, which really irked me off. We got to keep playing people. We got to keep playing more and more people. I don't know exactly what the snaps were and anything. We only ran 68 on offense, but we got to keep bringing some of those guys along and develop depth and develop competition as well.
We're going to take one more. We'll send it over to Dayon Dunlap. Dayon. Dayon.
Oh, sorry, it cut out. Coach, can you talk about Marcus Jones and what you saw from him as a receiver? I don't think I saw him play any defense today. I was very impressed with his route depth.
Yeah, he couldn't get him loose, man. We got him loose one time on a vertical route, which him tracking the ball downfield is as impressive as I've seen. I mean, it's why he's such a good punt returner. We felt like we could handle Rice defensively without him. We're looking for a little bit of a spark on offense. Spread sets were kind of the way to go against him. So, he's gonna keep being able to do that. It's gonna be a week to week thing. I wish we had 2 of them where he could cover people all the time, and then we could use him at slot all the time. There's only one of them. We got to be careful with them, but we did target him, 4 or 5 times. And he helped us. He made a couple of big plays. So we'll continue to be able to do some of that stuff with them. It's just going to be week to week on what's best for the Cougars.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
We are now joined by Marcus Jones. Marcus, thanks so much for your time. We'll go ahead and open things up for questions, and we will lead off here with Chris Baldwin. Chris.
Marcus, how big was this game after everything that last week, everything going on, the law?
The game, it was very big because of last week, it wasn't expected, basically how we didn't like the end result, basically. And we worked real hard this week to become a 1-0 this week. So it was very exciting to get that first dub, but now it's on to the next week.
We'll head over to Joseph Duarte, JD.
Marcus, can you remember the last time you didn't play defense in the game, and what did you think about sort of being an offensive guy for an entire game today?
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I haven't played defense, but I felt excited, being on the other side of the ball. I mean, I played receiver all my life basically too, so I was excited. Any way that I can help the team, I'm down for it.
I mean, is this a role that two-way players, there aren't a lot of them in college football. I mean, is this a thing that you like? I mean, 2 weeks into the season, and you've seen some pretty good action.
I'm not gonna say every game or anything like that. It's whatever coach say. So some games, if he say I gotta do this, if I gotta play defense, and if I gotta play offense, then it's whatever coach wants.
We'll head over to James Mueller. James.
Marcus, you talked about, or Dana Holgerson last week said, you were getting a little bored on the sideline when the defense didn't get, an opportunity to come out for the first 13 minutes. So how do you sort of manage, I know tonight you only played offense, but, balancing that, your emotions and just physically as you sort of are trying to become this two-way player for the team?
Basically, I'm the type of person I like to see my teammates before me type thing. So I like to always support my teammates whenever they're doing great plays and things like that. So I don't really have problems emotionally being feeling some type of way, or I'm not really a selfish individual. So I'm happy to see my teammates, make plays.
We'll take two more. We'll head over to Rob Sellers. Rob.
Appreciate it. Hey, Marcus, what does it say about your cornerback room in terms of depth that you're able to do that and come away and still let you guys handle it in the back end? And off of that, what did you think about Art Green and the other guys that filled in over there today for you?
We basically usually always been safeties have a whole bunch of depth the past few years, but we actually have depth at corner, and that's great because we can do different packages with different safeties and different corners in the game. So it just feels great to see the young guys that just came in basically come and then feel comfortable at the position, because one of those positions to where you have to have a good mindset and you got to be right mentally. And Art, I love seeing Art play, basically because me and Pepe, we're not really that long. So seeing a long guy, basically cover ground like Art do, and his athleticism is crazy.
Last question to Mark Berman. Mark.
Marcus, got to ask you one non-game question. You don't know about it yet, but during the game, they showed the cover of your music on national television. They talked about what you're doing off the field. How cool is that for you to see that, to get that kind of exposure that you just can't pay for?
Yeah, that was great. I actually, one of my friends actually sent it to me, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. I did not expect that. So I'm very excited about that.
Thanks so much for your time, Marcus.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and keep things going here with Logan Hall. Logan, thanks so much for your time. We will open things up for questions here. We will open things up with Joseph Duarte. JD?
You guys don't allow any points in the second half, and I believe at one point they had -3. And did you guys feel like coming into the game you could do defensively, and to see those kind of numbers put up, what does that mean for the defense?
I really just feel like we felt completely energized, and considering how we came out in the second half last week, that was just an affirmation for us, and it felt really good.
We'll move along to James Mueller. James?
Yeah, Logan, sort of building off that, y'all were able to get, consistent pressure on McCaffrey throughout the game, despite, losing Cedric in the first quarter. Can you just talk about sort of what it was like losing him, and then how you were able to rally and, stay focused throughout the rest of the game as the defensive line?
Speaking for the whole unit, it just broke our hearts because, he's already been through so much and so much adversity, and, being able to play with him this year was huge, and he taking away the second game so short in the season. We just send our prayers and our hearts out to him and his family, and we wish he was with us. But...
We'll go over to Dayon Dunlap. Dayon?
And like you had a career day in total tackles and tackles for loss. Just talk about how you felt coming into the game and how you felt out there on the field today.
Me personally, I told myself every snap I lined up just to go win every single one-on-one, every critical situation, every third and long. I just try to take advantage of those situations. The emphasis for me was winning, making a play.
We'll go 2 more questions. We'll send it over to Chris Baldwin. Chris?
Logan, how personally did you guys take that loss in the second half last week? And what was Dana's message, like during the week as it went along?
Very personally, being up so much that first quarter against a big opponent like that, and coming out and just kind of crapping the bed. I beat myself up, a lot. But Dana's message the whole week was, the finish, and we came back into the locker room, and the emphasis was, like not take your foot off the gas, keep your foot on the throat and finish, and that's exactly what we did.
If we have one more question here.
Practice different.
Go ahead, Chris. We'll send it over to Joseph Duarte, JD.
Logan, if I could go back to when you were asked about Cedric, the defensive line, you guys are pretty deep there. They had moved you outside, so I guess you were accustomed to moving back inside when they needed you today. But you don't want to lose anybody. But does it at least help that this defensive line is as deep as you guys are, depending on how much time Cedric misses?
Repeat that one more time.
Yeah, just in terms of having the numbers that you guys have on the D line, does that help? You don't want to be without Cedric, but you guys are pretty deep on the line.
No, absolutely. We're at least 2 deep at every position. The reason for me being out of defensive end last week was we had a guy positive on COVID. We were short a man, so I had the link to go and play on the edge, but he'll be back with us next week, and it's unfortunate that we lost Sept, but it's next man up. So we got great depth, and I'm confident the next man will.
Thanks, Logan.
Thanks so much, Logan. We are joined by Tank Dell. Tank, thanks so much for your time. We will go ahead and kick things off with James Mueller. James?
Yeah, Tank, in the fall camp, you talked about you and Clayton's chemistry together, and tonight you guys seem to connect on every big third down, picking up that conversion. What goes into that, and what makes y'all be able to be so effective on third downs as a duo?
That comes from Coach Holt preaching to make the routine plays that we're supposed to make each and every day at practice. Like last week, we wasn't making routine plays in the second half, so that was the focus. That was the main focus this week in practice, making the routine plays. So we came out and did that.
We'll send it over to Chris Baldwin. Chris?
There's a lot of noise around Clayton externally last week. Did you talk to him about that? And how did you sort of see him handle, everything that went on after that game and leading up to this one?
He's been good. Yes, we talked to him. I talked to him. I just told him to keep his head up. Like, we got him. We wasn't worried about what the outside was saying. We would just focus on us. That's what we preach throughout the organization. Just focus on us. So he was okay. Just let it go with the shoulder. We wasn't too much stressing that. We were just moving on to the next week.
Thanks, Chris. We'll head over to Mark Berman. Mark?
Yeah, 1 second. So after the game, you guys were crowding around that trophy and a lot of celebrating going on. What was that? I know it's not a bowl game, but it's a Bayou Bucket. What was it like celebrating with that trophy with your teammates?
It felt great, coming off a loss and then coming to get the win. Plus, I know it's a huge thing in Houston with the trophy. So, it felt great just to get the win. Plus, just winning the trophy, keeping it at the University of Houston, that felt great for me and the whole team, even the coaches.
We'll send it over to Joseph Duarte. JD?
Tank, in both of these games, last week and this week, you guys have gotten off to really fast starts offensively and found the end zone. This night, you guys were able to build off of that. But how important has that been to be able to get off to fast starts in both games?
It's been very important. We've been preaching the fast start and finish strong. So that's like something we do, try to go fast, tempo them, make plays, make routine plays, like I said before, and, put points on the board quick.
Did you feel like they were struggling to cover you at times? I mean, you get into some favorable matchups. It looks like it by the way you want to smile.
Yes, sir. I feel like not to get too high on myself, I just feel like I be like, it's me versus me when I'm out there on the field. So with that being said, I just feel like I can get open whenever and help the team win game.
Thanks, Joseph. We'll go over to Dayon Dunlap. Dayon.
Hey, Tank, I saw you tweeting Houston versus everybody. Just tell us about what that tweet was about and just the mindset behind.
Well, this year as a team, we've been preaching like us over them, like Houston over everybody. And when we put Houston, the U and the S in Houston is capitalized because everything is all around us. Like, we're not worried about any outside distractions and anybody saying Houston can't do this, Houston can't do that. We just focus on ourselves and trying to get better and bring the conference championship back to Houston.
Keep things open. One more question, if there is one. We'll go back to Joseph Duarte. JD.
Tank, speaking of like stuff on the outside, Coach Holgerson was saying that, it's been a stressful week between last week's loss and the Big 12 news and all that. We're curious from a player standpoint what you thought of the news yesterday about you guys getting into the Big 12 and, just that having that now part of the program.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that. Coach Holgerson told us not to we're focused on this year. That's great for the program and the university, but that's going to happen in due time over the next couple of years, I believe. So we haven't really been trying to stress that. We just been trying to focus on this year, 2021 Houston Cougars. That's all.
Gotcha.
Tank, thanks so much for your time and congratulations again.
Appreciate it.